Good day, Market Chameleons, and everyone joining us for the first time. Thanks for coming by and checking out the Market Chameleon live webinar series. Before we get started, let's take a look at the shared disclaimer. Please be aware that neither Market Chameleon, Dimitri, or myself are registered investment advisors or broker dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This webinar, as all our webinars and shows, are for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. With that, one last look at the disclaimer, and let's welcome Dimitri Pargamonik to the stage. He's going to be talking about implied volatility versus historical volatility. How you doing, Dima?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Great. Let me share your screen. There we go. All right, and there's the Market Chameleon landing page. Welcome back, everyone. This is a live show, and I have been away for about 6 days, and it's great to be back. How's it going, D?
Good. Welcome back. Well,
Thanks, buddy.
So good morning, everyone. What we'll do today is take a look at a implied volatility chart and discuss, what the implied volatility chart tells us, what type of insights we could get, and compare it to a historical volatility. So I'm going to navigate to a symbol, and let's use SPY in our example today. I'm going to type in SPY in our search box. And this will take us to the SPY main page. And on the left-hand side, we have this menu. We're going to go click on volatility, implied volatility. This will bring us to our implied volatility chart. And I'm going to click on this menu to minimize it and expand our screen. And here below, we have this implied volatility chart. It's a historical for the last 1 year. You could go back in time. Let's stick to the 1 year chart. And if you scroll a little bit lower, you get this other chart, which shows the stock chart for the same time frame. But first, let's just discuss what this line means, this implied volatility chart. When we think of what is IV, what is implied vol, that it's a metric that's derived from option prices. So it's not derived from a stock price. We have to go reference options, take those option prices, put them into a option pricing model, and then we get this implied volatility. Okay. And because stocks may have different options, we have different option expirations, we have different option strikes, we kind of have to create some kind of standard benchmark that we could track, because if you have expirations that are 3 days away or 10 days away or 15 or 100 days away, well, those options will have a different implied volatility because there's an implied volatility structure. We're not always constant, so we have to kind of create this constant. So we create this constant maturity. What are we tracking? We have to figure out what are we tracking. So we have to create a constant maturity. So in this situation, we say 30 days, right? So if there was an option that had 30 days to expiration, so every day we would have to say, well, what is the 30-day option? So because it doesn't exist necessarily for each option, every day you look at it, you might have, even if you have an expiration listed today that's 30 days DTE, well, tomorrow it's 29, next day is 28, 26. Eventually that option expires and goes away. So we can't track an option like a stock going historically, all the way back for a constant maturity, because that option will go away and we'll need to reference different options. So we create this benchmark 30-day IV using the surrounding options where it straddles 30 days, and we go use this formula similar to the VIX, where we say, okay, based on these weighted averages, we stick to this methodology, and this is what the 30-day implied volatility, 30-day constant maturity implied vol is for that option. We also have to kind of figure out, well, what options are we referencing? Because you could have an out-of-the-money option, you could have an in-the-money option, you could have out-of-the-money downside put and out-of-the-money upside call. So here we're looking at the money options. So the options that are around the at-the-money. So we use this formula, and then we track every day how that index or our benchmark changed. Okay, so that's what this line is here. I could remove these bars or the option volume for that day, but we could remove it just to look at the line by itself. So we could see that the 30-day constant maturity implied volatility, it's not the same every day. It changes. It could go up, it could go down. So now we get this implied volatility chart to see historically, how it moved around. It's extremes to the upside, to the downside, how it trends. So this allows us to gauge how those implied vols from the option prices have changed over time. Okay. Now, when we look at this historically, we do see, that it moves around. We could also compare this to how did the stock volatility behave. So the implied volatility is coming from the options. Those are kind of like a forward-looking. It's a forward-looking metric because the options are saying, well, based on these option prices, if we plug it into the option, the option pricing model, it's saying that in our situation, next 30 days, the options are implying a whatever implied volatility, that the stock will move at this volatility. So these are forward-looking metrics that we get from the option prices. Okay. And the stock has a volatility too, right? The stock's moving around. So we could also compare it to how the stock moves. And we could take the, stock prices, right? We could take the historical stock prices and then use those to calculate a volatility. So we'd have to pick a methodology for that. We could use open, high, low prices. We could use close to close prices. So we do have to kind of figure out, well, what is the methodology we use? But in this situation, we're going to use the open, high, low, close prices, and we're going to plot those versus the implied vols. So let's do that. So this is the historical vol 20-day. Okay, so now we have this purple line. And what this purple line does is it takes the stock volatility. It says we look at the 20-day volatility, and the reason for that is that we're using 20 trading days. Okay, so these are 20 trading days. The 30-day IV includes just 30 days to expiration. So we have this 20-day volatility moving average. And what this allows us to do is say, okay, if we calculated the historical volatility using the last 20 days, right? So we take the last 20 days of data and say, well, what is the volatility the stock moved, right? And then we compare it to the forward-looking next IV, we could kind of see what the differences are between what the stock recently did and how the market is forecasting going forward. And the idea there is to see, well, how much have they diverged, right? So if we used just the last 20 days and said, well, if the stock moved at 20 vol, what is the market implying, the next month, the volatility? And this lets us see how far apart they diverge historically, and do they tend to move closely to some metric? Are they does the implied volatility fluctuate around those historical volatilities? To the upside and to the downside, how far apart do they diverge? And that's what these two lines allow us to see all in one chart, right? So now we have the current implied volatility versus the last 20 days. So you could see how far, if we hover over it, you could see that while SPY right now, the IV30 is 14.1, that implied volatility suggesting that we're going to see SPY move at a higher volatility than we did in the last 20 days, which is 9.7. Okay, so the markets right now are anticipating, yet we had a relatively low stock volatility based on this chart, but the implied vols are pricing in a higher volatility moving forward. Okay, and sometimes it goes the other way, right? Sometimes we're in implied volatility, like over. Hold on 1 second. We'd have to go like somewhere over here, where the historical vol was high in the last 20 days, and the implied vols are saying, hey, we're going to start coming down. We're forecasting it lower, and you could see that eventually that volatility did start coming in. And that's what this chart helps us do from a historical perspective, is to see how those two moved in relationship to each other and how much they diverged. So Will, I'm going to throw it back to you. You're still there? Okay, I might have. Will, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, D. We had a little bit of a freeze up. Sorry about that. Great webinar, D, on implied volatility versus historical volatility. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Stay safe and have a great trading day.
Everyone, thanks, D, and we will see you tomorrow, my friend. Bye-bye. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining another Market Chameleon webinar series. It was great to be back. Swami, I did get to Babalu's for cocktails and some food with my bride. We sat at the bar. It was a great recommendation. We loved Palm Springs, loved Manhattan Beach. It was a great trip, but it's great to be back and getting ready for the snowstorm. We will see everyone tomorrow. Remember, thumbs up, like if you're new to the webinar series. Please follow so you'll be alerted to every live webinar. And we have a great library of resources on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go to the YouTube channel and follow. Everyone have a great, safe trading day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.